Stop eating these healthy foods if you're wondering why maybe your weight is struggling or you're exhausted or having mood swings. Because, truth bomb here, not everything that is labeled healthy actually makes you feel your best. Some of these foods are secretly spiking your blood sugar, draining your energy, and keeping your hormones totally off balance. And the worst part is, you probably think you're doing everything right. So, I am spilling the tea on today's episode. If you're new here, I'm Brooke. I'm a registered dietitian, lactation counselor, and mom of three. And I help moms reach their healthiest weight and feel like themselves again without sacrificing their favorite foods or their milk supply. On my channel, I make postpartum nutrition and healing simple so you can feel better faster. So hit that subscribe button and that little bell so you never miss a new video. And give this video a thumbs up if you are finally ready to feel in control around food again. So let's talk about one of the biggest traps that I see moms fall into. If you're trying your best to eat healthy, but you're choosing foods that look good on the label, but they actually feel complete opposite in your body. Maybe things like oat milk or almond milk lattes or low fat or fat-free yogurts or dressings or protein bars or breakfast cereals or even smoothies at the smoothie shop. A lot of these may seem like smart choices, but a lot of these options, especially depending on the brand, they're loaded with sugar, they're low in protein, and they leave you starving an hour later. So let's talk about coffee first. Say that you start with your morning coffee. So if you're having coffee on an empty stomach, you're setting yourself up for an energy crash before 10 a.m. Coffee spikes our cortisol, which is our main stress hormone. This is going to throw off blood sugar and hormones, especially postpartum. And here's the thing that most moms don't realize. Many popular coffee drinks, like things from Starbucks or Dunkin', so many of these options have 20 or 30 or even 40 grams of sugar added to it. And this is how most moms are starting their mornings. That's like eating 5 teaspoons of sugar before you've even had anything in your stomach. So if you go all night fasting and then you wake up for breakfast and you just load your body with sugar, your blood sugar is going to spike fast, your energy is going to shoot up, and then you're going to crash so hard and the cravings are going to kick in. And this is going to leave you craving more sugar or more carbs even later in the day, leave you hungrier, moodier, and more tired. So here's what to do to fix it. If you like drinking coffee like I do, start your day with a big glass of water first and then have your breakfast. Once you have your breakfast, or if you want to have your coffee with breakfast, that's totally fine. Make sure that your breakfast has something high in protein. So things like maybe eggs on avocado toast or a smoothie or Greek yogurt, overnight oats with protein. There's so many good options for breakfast. But when it comes to what's in your coffee, now, of course, if you don't tolerate dairy, your options are a little bit more limited. You're going to have to use something like oat milk or almond milk. And some of these brands are actually pretty good, but you just need to know that oat milk and almond milk, they're going to have a lot less protein compared to dairy milk. So just know that there is a difference in protein, which again, if you don't tolerate dairy, that's totally fine. You can add a vegan protein powder or collagen powder into your coffee if you want it to be a little bit more filling and keep you full. And then you have to also look at some of the ingredients and brands for different types of milk substitute, because a lot of them will have less protein and a lot of them will have added sugar, and then they're adding in other additives. So just check the ingredients and labels. If you go to Whole Foods or Trader Joe's, sometimes you'll find some better options, but you can absolutely just check the label. And if you're ever questioning it, just go with whatever has the least amount of ingredients. So if you're comparing two oat milks, one has 30 ingredients and one has 5, you're more than likely better off with that oat milk with the less ingredients. So if you prefer plant-based, that's totally fine. Like I said, you can add collagen or a vegan protein powder if you want to boost your protein. And if there's sugar in your coffee drink, then you can ask for it half sweet just to start getting used to that. You can skip the sugary syrup altogether. You can add a little vanilla or a little maple syrup or a little honey if you want just like a tad sweet. But again, if you're adding some sort of dairy or dairy substitute to your coffee, that is going to make it a little bit more sweet. So I have right here my favorite collagen latte. So it is just a Nespresso pod. It's one of the flavored pods. So it's vanilla or caramel. And then I just add in some milk and I add in a few scoops of collagen. This way say this is giving me 20 or so grams of protein. So this is going to keep me full and it tastes really good. Like you cannot taste the collagen. So there's some really good options out there. Next, we have to be careful with things that are labeled low fat and fat free. Now there are some things that are naturally fat free or low fat, and that's totally fine. That's not what I'm talking about. I am talking about things like salad dressings, especially sometimes like different processed foods, even yogurts. We have to be careful. So we want to look at the label because a lot of yogurts that are low fat or fat free, or salad dressings specifically, even frozen meals, they are going to add tons of added sugar because when we remove the fat, that changes the flavor and texture. And so a lot of times they're adding in extra sugar and they're adding in different additives to help try to make the texture and consistency just better and taste better. It's not to say that there's no low fat or no fat yogurt options. I'm a huge fan of just like plain Greek yogurt. You can do the Oikos brand is really good. That one is my favorite. And salad dressings, I'm a huge fan of Primal Kitchen. That is my go-to brand. But again, if a salad dressing has healthy fats because there is olive oil in there or avocado oil, that's healthy fat. We want to eat that. We need healthy fats in our diet. We don't want to just try to completely avoid fats. What we want to do is just try to get more of the omega-3 fatty acids in our diets and those healthier fats in our diets. So good rule of thumb, if it's labeled low fat or fat free, just look at the label. Is it pumped with a lot of added sugar? Did it remove fiber? Did it remove other things? Is the ingredient list now from 5 ingredients to 30 ingredients? So definitely keep an eye on those things. And then again, there's a lot of foods that are naturally low in fat, like fruits or vegetables or chicken. That's totally fine. We are not trying to eliminate those foods. So we want to get a nice variety of healthy fats, fiber, and protein throughout our day. So again, if a food is made low fat, we just want to check those labels. And then again, find a salad dressing brand that you like. And if you're just looking for one to start with, again, my recommendation is Primal Kitchen. They are not like, I am not an influencer for Primal Kitchen. I don't have like any discount links for you. I just absolutely love the brand. And then same thing with cottage cheese. So cottage cheese, Greek yogurt, some of the brands that are non-fat or low fat, they pump a lot of sugar. But with cottage cheese, huge fan of the Good Culture brand. This one, they come in a low fat option, the 2%. That's the one I usually go for. That way it has some fats in it. And again, the Greek yogurts, huge fan of the Oikos brand, or any type of just plain Greek yogurt is fine. Just double check how much added sugar that they're adding in. And then just know that again, our hormones need healthy fats for mood and balance, for our hormones, milk supply, metabolism. So we definitely don't want to be completely avoiding fats. We just want to try to get more of those healthy omega-3 fatty acids into our diet. Talk about is granola really sneaky. So there's a lot of protein bars out there that are labeled as protein bars and they have like 10 grams. I wouldn't consider something that has 10 grams or less really a protein bar or a huge source of protein. That's not to say that there aren't really good brands with other great ingredients. But again, we want to check that. Some of the protein bars are just filled with so much junk, so much added sugar or tons of different sugar substitutes. And then the ingredient list is so long and you can't pronounce anything and it's super processed. I think protein bars and bars can be a great thing to lean on, especially as busy moms. But again, we just want to find ones with minimal or less ingredients. Same thing with cereal. There's a ton of cereals that just pump a lot of sugar in. There's not actually a lot of fiber and they're just not going to keep you full. They're going to spike your blood sugar and crash and you're not going to stay full. Even things like smoothies, if you go somewhere and order a smoothie, if you can add collagen or protein to it, that's going to help keep your blood sugar steady. But if you just get a smoothie and all there is in it is basically fruit, that's not to say fruit is bad. Fruit is amazing for us. But if you're just drinking straight fruit, it's a lot for your body to try to handle with your blood sugar regulation, with your insulin levels. And so at least if we can make sure that there's enough fibers, you can add in like chia seed, flaxseed for some extra fiber. And then again, you could add Greek yogurt if you're making your own smoothie or some protein powder. That way, if we're getting some healthy fats mixed in, some fiber, and some protein, a smoothie is going to keep us fuller longer and it's going to keep our blood sugar steady. So again, it's not to say all protein bars are bad or all cereals are bad or all smoothies are bad. There's some really great options, especially if you're making them yourself. So we just want to check the labels. So for protein bars, if you can find one with 12 to 15 or more grams of protein, that's great. And ideally, if we can get under 8 grams of sugar, specifically added sugar. Some of these bars are going to have some natural sugars from like dates. That's totally fine. So some ones that I really like are True bars. They're really high in fiber. There's a variety of flavors, so you just got to kind of see which flavor you like. RX bars are great because they have egg whites, they have nuts, they have dates. So huge fan of that. They're very simple ingredients. My kids love the Lara bars as well. These ones are going to be high in healthy fats. They're still going to keep you full. So they're really like just basically nuts and dates. So that's a great healthy fat source. If you're looking for something that's higher in protein specifically, there's things like Quest, Aloha, Bear Bells, Simply Protein. These are different bars. Again, you kind of have to taste test a lot of these and see what flavors you like, because there's some flavors that you personally are going to find better than others. And then breakfast cereals. So most of these like Special K, if you're born in the late 80s like I was, or in the 90s, you've probably heard like Special K, eat it for weight loss. If you're just eating that for breakfast on an empty stomach and that's it, it's not giving you enough protein. And again, it's spiking your blood sugar and then crashing it. And a lot of these cereals are actually really high in carbs and they're low in fiber. So we really want our carb sources to be filled with fiber so that we stay fuller longer. So if you love cereal and you like want to keep it as maybe part of your breakfast and you're eating other protein sources, try something like Magic Spoon. I've tasted a few and they're actually pretty good. And then Three Wishes is another brand, or you can make your own high protein granola that you add to your Greek yogurt. That's a really good source. Same thing for smoothies. You can just buy frozen fruit and frozen greens, throw in some Greek yogurt, some coconut milk, or some coconut water, and then you can add in, chia seed, flax seed, some protein powder or collagen. Smoothies are so versatile. You can totally make these at home yourself. Just be careful if you're out ordering smoothies elsewhere. They're probably just going to be really low in fiber and protein. These are definitely some foods that we want to just be aware of and be cautious of, because a lot of these types of foods are disguised as always healthy, but really the truth is certain brands are going to be much better options than others. Now, when it comes to just eating as a mom, we don't have to overhaul everything. We don't have to be perfect to get results. We just want to start making some of these easy changes. So it might start with your coffee order. You might just get it half sweet, and then you might drop it down to maybe 1 pump of syrup. And that will definitely make a big difference for you. If you're eating maybe a low fat yogurt that is loaded with added sugar, then let's switch to maybe a Greek yogurt. And if you want a flavored yogurt, again, Oikos is a great brand. For salad dressings, if all of your salad dressings are filled with different oils and they are not filled with olive oil or avocado oil, let's find an avocado oil or olive oil based salad dressing. That way we're still getting our healthy fats in, but we're not necessarily getting in those other fats that just don't make our body and our hormones feel its best. And you get to just have awareness with how some of these changes make your body feel. Again, as moms, like so many of us are just being misled by marketing. Just because it's labeled organic or healthy doesn't necessarily mean that. We really want to start looking at labels. And again, we don't have to be perfectionists. We don't have to track every single macro every single day. I track my macros a few times a week, and then I'll take a break for usually a few weeks. And really for me, it's just spot checking. Like, am I getting close to my protein needs? Am I getting enough protein? Am I getting enough fiber, especially in my day? If I track it for a few days and I am well within my means and I'm hitting enough protein and fiber, then I don't track every day. So we don't have to be perfect, but it's really important to start having awareness. Some of these things are just so simple to switch. And as you start to see that your energy improves, your cravings calm down, and you stop feeling like food controls you, you are going to want to stick with a lot of these changes. So if you want eating healthy to feel effortless, I've done the hard part for you. Inside Busy Mom Meals, you'll get weekly done for you meal plans, grocery lists, 15-minute high protein meals that take just the guesswork out of eating healthy. And if your goal is to reach your healthiest weight postpartum without losing your milk supply or giving up your favorite foods, you definitely want to check out my free workshop below, where I'll walk you through the system that I use with my clients. So both of the links are in the show notes. And if this video is helpful, hit that thumbs up button and subscribe for more postpartum nutrition and weight loss tips every Tuesday for busy moms. So come hang out with me over on Instagram if you're not already hanging out over there at Nutrition for Mamas, and comment below sharing which healthy food surprised you the most and what option you are going to switch. And remember, you deserve to feel good again.